I was wondering, are you like a born Muslim?
No,
Oh,
convert.
what made you convert?
Um, just
A guy?
no,
Oh.
actually, no. I just kind of so I was grew up Christian, but I wasn't. It wasn't like a structured Christian household or anything like that. So when I heard some stuff about like the prophets, all of them, then that was kind of like, oh, this makes more sense to me now, and I just kind of studied from there.
So how did your parents and friends feel about it?
So a lot of my mom was more okay and iffy about it. Like not iffy, but just like I think a little bit worried.
Worried?
Yeah, just because Islam does not have the best image right now.
How long
and
ago was this?
Only 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
It's
yeah,
post 9/11.
post 9/11. So it's not the best.
Post-ISIS.
Yeah, post ISIS. So not a very good image. Not, and then like her own conceptions of Islam and stuff like that. But now she's pretty fine with it.
Is she are any of your friends following the path?
No,
Curious about it?
no, actually. 'Cause a lot of my friends from like back home, so North Carolina, I think a lot of them are actually just atheist or agnostic. So they're like not anti-religion per se. They're just, well, some are, but it's not like an identity type of thing. It's just like I really don't like religion, and so they just don't care. But they don't attack other people for it. Just like
So the guys who are, or the guys, or the human beings, or the people who are against religion, are the atheists or agnostic?
I would say both, right? So some, or I guess atheist is kind of saying there is no God, but it's more like, I think for the most part, some people just say, well, I just don't think there is one. Like, I just don't see any proof. So I guess they're more atheist. And then I have some friends who are, I have a lot of interesting friends. Some of them are more like pagan, so they do actually believe in a God, but they go different pagan stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
You grew up as a non-Muslim. What? And you grew up in a black neighborhood or the mixed neighborhood, or? I would
Actually,
guess
predominantly
mixed.
white.
Yeah,
mixed
that's what I
neighborhood.
thought.
Yeah.
And knowing them, what do typical Americans think what Islam actually is?
See, I don't know.
In your circle of knowledge.
That's a good question. Like in high school, I would say, well, I have like different friend groups. So like, both high school and college, I'd had friends who were Muslim, and so as the friend group, I don't know if we never really brought up like what is Islam, per se. Like, there was just kind of like, this is my friend who's Muslim, and we just kind of talked maybe a little bit about it, but there wasn't any definitive conversations, it's not that I had, that were like defining Islam or talking about the perceptions of Islam. A lot of times it was like, that really sucks, that like if you have like one friend had a really harsh parent, and I think really, so that was kind of more like, man, that really sucks. And I think people recognized a little bit maybe that it was like either culture or that person's life. I don't think they necessarily attributed to all of Islam. But at the same time, it's not something a lot of people pursued in topic, so I'm not sure.
So if you go on Facebook and type as a status, what is Islam, question mark to you, what do you think will happen? What would people answer? What do you think will answer? Because that's, you don't know what they will say. Because
Right.
you never bring it up. But if you did bring it up, what do you think they will say?
Let's see.
In your mind, and again, we don't know the result, but what do you think they will say? Because we all assume a lot of information, as our friend was saying.
That's true. I think a lot of my friends who are actually Muslim, the ones I met like here in Chicago, will probably either like it. I think a couple of them will say Islam is like submission to God and my connection to it. I think
What about
friends
the
who aren't
schools?
Muslim, I think that they will probably not,
Just ignore it?
yeah, either ignore it or they might like it, but not say anything. I
Because they
think
don't want to say it in public.
Maybe, yeah. Or they don't want to be offensive, or maybe they just like, I hope that they would be like, well, I don't know, so I'm not gonna say anything. you
Isn't
know?
that a great opportunity for us to educate them when they say, I don't know?
That is true. Yeah.
Okay, so well, I encourage you to try it on the Facebook and see what happens.
Okay.
I'm very, very curious about how the sociology of our, cultures work,
Mhm.
and especially how Americans think, because we assume that they might be thinking this way and they might be thinking this way, and you know, I don't assume anything. I try not to assume as much as even though I was assuming about him.
Yeah.
But I try not to, even though I'm still a human being, right? So end of the day, I still assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be very curious to know if you have any friends who would love to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I would be very keen to chit chat with them about it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time. Everybody,
Wait, you're
this
still
is-
recording? Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
So everybody, this is Wick, and at Twitter handle is Solars
Bangle.
Solars Bangle or Solar Bangle?
Solars.
Solars Bangles. So she's a bangle of solars. Or maybe it's the rings around the bangle. That's the sun. That's interesting.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Oh, nice. So you are interested in universe.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.